It's time to review Popeye the Sailor Man. It's time to review Popeye the Sailor Man. Is it any good or this should be passed on? It's time to review Popeye the Sailor Man. Toot toot. Alright. Now, if anyone's been under a rock, or today, everybody at this point has already known who Popeye is. He was a sailor that fought in, 1930s. I think he fought in World War I, possibly World War II. But lately, he's been known as a spinach eating, gets his superpowers from it, because spinach is good for you, and all that stuff. And you should always get the girl, because frankly, how can I put this? Oh yeah, he was involved with the whole bad boys, get the girl to realize they're jerks, and then the nice guy wins in the end. You can tell it's a cartoon because of that part already, can you? Yeah, that's right. Popeye's probably the only nice guy, real nice guy, not that weird stuff we made up, but the only nice guy that actually got the girl. But anyway, let's talk about the live action movie. Yes, the Robin Williams ones. The question is, now I watched it when I was a kid. I gotta admit, I did love it. But it didn't do too well with the critics, now did it? Now the question, I did see it again as an adult. And it's kind of a mixed bag on this one. On one hand, it does stay close to the source material, the cartoon. It actually does play, if you watch the older cartoons, this live action does play like the cartoon as much as possible. I mean, keep in mind, live action cartoon, and it didn't exactly have a high special effects budget. I rely mostly on practical effects. Not that I have nothing against practical effects, of course. Obviously, that stood better in time than the special effects, but still, a little special effects could have helped. Anyway, we got Popeye, played by Robin Williams, and you gotta admit, this first time, you actually wish he would have been more energetic. Usually, everything he does play with high energy. Gotta admit, in his younger years, he was a bit tame. Not saying he didn't do a bad job with Popeye, of course. No, he did an excellent job. Actually, everybody did an excellent job. I mean, look at the cartoon, look at the mannerism that all the characters done, especially Olive Oil. Now, keep in mind, it's not exactly an easy feat to pull off, considering the fact that again we're talking about cartoon characters versus real life people. The whole point of the cartoon is that people behave like cartoons, and close enough. Let's put it that way. The way the mannerism, the way they speak. So, at any rate. What's the live action movie about? Well, Popeye shows up looking for his dad. Now, in this case, he wasn't Popeye just yet. Now, he was tough. He wasn't Popeye yet because he hadn't accepted the family legacy. In this case, it was spinach. Yes, there was a time Popeye did not like spinach. If you count the movie as canon, of course. At any rate, Popeye here meets up with Bluto, which, the files. I don't know if it was a trope in the 80s that came out, that, the rich, powerful family controls everything. Well, it's hard to tell. I mean, Wizard of Oz did have the whole, I'm rich, I therefore own the town, if I can do whatever I want. So, who knows, maybe it was a trope, but at any rate, she's going to marry Olive Oil, and I guess Olive Oil wasn't too keen despite the song they were singing. I noticed, they didn't make this one more of a musical. I mean, that's kind of risky. I mean, none of the songs were actually memorable, but they actually were kind of interesting to hear them talk right off the bat. Sing the song right off the bat. The Olive Oil trying to sing that Bluto was hers, but she was packing to leave and get away from him. Kind of interesting concept. So, she runs into Popeye. And some mysterious woman. This one has never been. I don't know. Is this a reference to something? I want to know if this is a reference to something. Because Sweet Pea showed up. This is first also Sweet Pea's appearance in this movie. And it was, the mother said, listen, I can't financially take care of the kids. Take care of the kid now. Come back in 25 years. Is that a reference to something? I have a feeling that's a reference to something. Again, write a comment. Because your mother, we've never seen again. Yeah, I know. She said you won't appear for 25 years, but still. Yeah, you have to wonder about that. The baby turned out to have magical powers. So, again, that's kind of like, wow, okay. Too bad the original mother didn't know this because she was actually good at this olive oil original right away that the baby is psychic. Whatever you say to the baby, if the baby got happy about something, if you say something, the kid will get excited or won't say anything at all, depending on what the prediction is. Wimpy, of course, with his usual, I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Well, yeah, he was in it too, and he realized it and wanted to take the baby to go gambling. He wanted a lot of money, and even Oliver was like, whoa, I know this is my kid too, but let's not be hasty. I mean, we're already here. Let's win some money. Popeye sings, I am what I am, that's all what I am, and he's too honest. He doesn't want to use the kid for money, so all right, fair enough. Somehow Bluto figures it out. He wants to look for some lost treasure. Again, the treasure is very interesting. I'm not sure what the lost treasure is, but it does play in a role. So I'm trying to keep something a secret here, but it does play a significant role to the story. I have to say it is kind of mixed because I did say, like I said, nobody's phoning it in, and as for cartoons, especially from the 1980s live action, it actually does a pretty good job. It actually does a better job than stuff you see here in the 2026 or 20, whatever. Whenever the live action started, to get remakes started. I have to admit, yeah, this Popeye definitely did a better job. Now again, yeah, I know it's not a remake, but it's still a live action version of that cartoon. And again, the key word is cartoon. They have a lot of risk because again, they use practical effects versus special effects. And yeah, the special effects were definitely needed for some of the cartoony part, but I think they actually nailed it. Even the feel of the cartoon. Seriously, watch a cartoon and watch a movie. They have the similar feel. Now, I understand if you're not familiar with a cartoon, it can feel a little irritating. That's the only down part. I think you have to be a real Popeye fan, or at least understand the source material to really appreciate this live action movie. The cartoon, like I said, did a pretty good job. Again, there's different variations of the cartoon. As for the actress, again, I have to tell you right now. Again, it's kind of. I still think it's weird. They didn't. Sorry, working on something right now. I still think it's weird that the how can I put this? Made it a musical. Yeah, there are some singing in Popeye, but most of this stuff is digital stuff. But again, none of the songs were memorable, but they were fun when they're still around. If you're a fan of Robin Williams, yes, this is definitely one of the movies you should catch. I'm not sure which one's the best movie to catch with Robin Williams in it. I don't know. Maybe Mrs. Doubtfire because you show him seeing both humorous but at the same time show humility. Also, it's one of those weird times where you actually see the father being a victim of divorces. But with that aside, he does show his acting. But at any rate, what was another one? I guess we're talking a little bit more about Robin Williams. I think he did something that kind of aged in kind of a sad way. He talked about the idea that Mark and Mindy had his episode where you realize that being a celebrity is not always champagnes and money and happiness. But again, that gets off the point. The movie is definitely great. It's definitely one of Robin Williams' best work. But no, I felt that it's kind of interesting how the older he gets, the more energetic he got. I thought it was kind of interesting. But anyway, what are your thoughts? I mean, have you seen the live-action Popeye when you were a kid? Or have you revisited like I did? Well, not or. You can or revisit. Have you seen Popeye when I was a kid when it first came out? Or did you see it recently? And of course, if you saw it years ago, did you revisit it? Because I wonder if you feel there was a difference between when you saw it as a kid and versus seeing it as an adult. At any rate, how well do you felt that it felt the source material, or should it laid off on the source material? Again, I want to hear your thoughts below. And wondering, should they actually do a remake? I mean, granted, Robin Williams didn't make his own, but do you feel that there actually should be another live-action Popeye movie? knowing that the special effects can be better, but hopefully done with people to understand the concept between practical and special effects. Or do you feel that, no, Robin Williams nailed it the first time, we don't need another live-action movie? And no, I'm not counting the public domain, that weird public domain horror movie. I'm not counting those. Those are terrible. At any rate, I want to hear your thoughts about the movie and your thoughts about Robin Williams. Anyway, like the other thoughts, like I talk about Morgan and Minnie, are there thoughts that I felt aged in a way that's kind of sad? But at any rate, I want to thank the 87 subscribers that stuck around. And as always, let's make me the first trillionaire YouTuber. Let's get that booty going. And as always, I am strong to the finish because I did a great review. I'm Spicy the Sailor Man. See you in the next video, and hope your day sucks a little less.